The idea to create a community college in Barton County was introduced in the early 1960s at the Mayflower Cafe, a popular Great Bend restaurant on Forest Avenue where businessmen gathered for coffee and conversation. Those early proponents were dedicated to the proposition that everyone has the right to higher education. Former Great Bend Tribune editor Paul Conrad wears the label Father of Barton because it's said that he introduced the concept and took initial steps to establish a college in Barton County. Along with the help of other community leaders, it was Conrad who introduced legislation in 1961 that eventually became a law, which allowed the county to vote on establishing a county-wide community college. Conrad remembers those initial steps as more of a community grassroots effort.
Well, the community was very much conscious of the fact that this was the largest city in Kansas without any higher education. In that, I didn't initiate that. That was the way we all felt.
The vote failed during the general election in November 1962. A Supreme Court ruling more than a year later allowed the county to be counted as one district. A second vote for establishing a college was conducted in the general election in 1965, and this time it passed. The bond issue a year later to fund the college also passed. Barton Community College was founded in 1965. Ground was broken on a cold, windy November day in 1967, and the college opened in the fall of 1969. What began 40 years ago as a college delivering on-campus education to hundreds of area students has evolved into a comprehensive learning environment that still provides on-campus classes but also delivers education through outreach, online, and interactive television offerings. Given the landscape of continually rising education costs today, Barton has proven vital to the 7 counties and Fort Riley-Grandview Plaza areas it serves, enabling thousands of students each year to earn degrees, complete continuing education, and receive workforce training. Through 4 decades, Barton has adapted to the educational and training needs of its varied stakeholders. Barton offers education at a fraction of the cost compared to costs of 4-year colleges.
We've seen many changes in our students, in our technology, how we provide learning opportunities, and the college has changed over the course of time. And that's a true barometer of how effective and efficient the college has been over the years. In terms of you're looking at affordability, we do not have a wealth of resources, but we have sufficient resources to change with the needs, and we've done that over the years. And it speaks well for our students in terms of not only the opportunities they've been given, but how well they've taken those opportunities. They've stayed in the area, and they've benefited our communities. And that's what the college is all about, supporting our communities, supporting the fine citizens of our area, and providing that ongoing relationship and benefit.
Nearly 40 first employees came to work for the startup college in 1969. For many, including band instructor J.B. Webster, accepting a position at Barton meant uprooting their families and heading toward uncertain futures since the college they were going to was still being built.
It was very exciting. Dr. Robinson always said, "We're a new college. You can do anything you want to in your course. Nobody can say, well, we used to do it this way, so you can do it your way." And the way I really got started was I wrote all of the colleges and the community colleges in the state and said, what do you have in a music program? What books do you use, etc. And so I sort of built my program that would transfer to the major universities. And I say my program, I was the only one that, I didn't have anybody to ask. I just read my letters back to me and started the program, picked my own text and things like that.
Those pioneers helped to turn Barton into one of the greatest assets the community possesses today. Barton is a leading employer with more than 600 employees today, adding significantly to the economic impact of the communities it serves. Furthermore, Barton employees are active in their respective communities, ultimately helping to improve area quality of life.
The economic impact of Barton College is very significant. I think we are an economic engine for this community. I think it's fair to say that without this institution, our county would be much poorer.
In the fall 1969, college officials were expecting 500 students for the inaugural semester. Instead, more than 850 students showed up at the newly constructed library ready to enroll. On September 3, 1969, Great Bend High School graduate Connie Krukenberg became the first student enrolled at what was then called Barton County Community Junior College.
I think because I realize now that we were the first, everything that we did was first. And I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize that the things that we did were going to be set in stone. And that the things that we did that first class are things that are now tradition. They're part of Barton. When we started, we didn't have colors, we didn't have a mascot, we didn't have a newspaper name. And now those things are just part of Barton. They are Barton's tradition. And looking back on it now, it makes it very special that I was part of that. Yes, very special.
At the start of the first academic year, Barton consisted of just 3 buildings on campus: the library, technical building, and the science and math building. Those buildings stood in the midst of a massive construction zone, surrounded by mounds of dirt in what previously served as a 160-acre wheat field. Longtime Great Bend residents Kevin and Nancy Sundahl were among those students who attended the dirt-lined campus that first academic year.
Park wherever.
Park wherever we could, and
when it got really wet.
it was muddy.
You got stuck in the mud a few times, and you wore old shoes.
We think a lot of the college, I always have. When somebody asked me about the college, I said, it may not be the best 2 years of my life, but by far is the most fun 2 years of my life.
And we realized, too, how important the college is to the community and what it's added through the years, because I feel that you have, of course, your traditional students, but there's a lot of non-traditional students that if the college was not here, would not have been able to utilize the opportunity to further their education, either getting a degree or getting hours that help them with whatever occupation they're involved with.
The Sundahls and Carlin also participated in commencement activities as part of Barton's first graduating class in spring 1971. Today, Barton serves more than 13,000 students annually. The college offers dozens of course options in various formats at its Barton and Fort Riley campuses and at its outreach communities, along with its leadership training facility at Camp Aldrich. The first college off-campus classes were held in 1971 when psychology classes were offered at Larned State Hospital. But Barton's outreach program began during the 1973-74 academic year. That year, 18 outreach courses were offered and 145 students participated as the college extended courses into communities of 5 surrounding counties: Russell, Rice, Stafford, Pawnee, and Rush. Ellsworth was eventually added to Barton's service area. Last year, Barton provided more than 390 outreach course offerings with an unduplicated headcount enrollment of nearly 2,000 students in its 7-county service area and the Grandview Plaza, Junction City area. Barton has a long track record in working to meet business and industry needs. One example, the 60 by 100 foot Midwest Utility and Pipeline Training Center that stands on the southwest portion of the Barton campus. The college constructed the training center 5 years ago over Barton's cathodic protection field already in place. The industry-driven facility has been utilized to fulfill training needs for utility and pipeline companies representing 11 states, and the training facility is used year-round, including during the annual corrosion control seminar Barton has been offering for more than 2 decades.